to our September version of Sharatoga TechTalks. We took the summer off, July and August, I think. And I'm pretty excited. We had 45 people register. It's in a little bit more than that, so that's pretty great considering all we do is send out a couple tweets and a lot of friends show up. So that's pretty awesome. A couple really quick announcements. As you can hear, we have a PA system now. So can everyone hear me in the back room? Joe, Sarah. Right on. All right. Giant improvement from June when no one could hear me. So that's awesome. So thank you, Andy, for helping me set this all up. And you found it online and did all the technical stuff. So I appreciate that because I am not technical. All right, a couple of announcements. What I like to do kind of just recap. So right now our meetup group has 411 members. That's up from 250 in June. That's pretty awesome considering we've done nothing to really market this, completely organic, people just hearing about our events. Kind of have a surprise, not really a surprise, but in October, we're going to have Time Warner Cable is actually going to come film our event. They're trying to highlight different tech events, different tech companies, different tech people in the area. So they asked us, can they come? Can they film it? Can they highlight it? Can they put it on the air? And I said, yes, please. So they're going to come and check us out. We've got 385 followers on Sharatoga Tech, which I think is, again, pretty awesome. You'll see every once in a while we'll tweet something about something local going on, some tech company in the area, just kind of raise awareness. Really kind of the idea behind Sharatoga TechTalks was the idea of highlighting people in our community that are doing really cool things, really cool technology that you might not have known about or heard about, and just kind of spotlight that. So we are a little different than Startup Tech Valley, which is kind of highlighting companies, or Saratoga Tech Out, which is just lots of social drinking. Which is, I love both. There's nothing wrong with either event. I'm at both of them. But the cool thing here is it really is you don't know the person sitting next to you is spending their nights and weekends designing a video game. I'm talking about Daniel. There he is. You know, which is pretty cool. So Daniel presented back in, you're trying to remember, it was cold, maybe it was April, May of last year, this year. And he actually launched his video game. I tweeted it 3-4 weeks ago. And that's pretty cool that someone here in Saratoga, in our tech community, is creating video games. So that's awesome. So go talk to Daniel afterwards to get the whole lowdown on that. So I don't remember when we started recording this. So we are recording tonight. If you don't want to be on camera, I don't know, the camera's right there, so you're probably safe. But otherwise, you can go to the bar. We're recording. We put it out. We have a YouTube channel. Super excited about it. We have a whopping 15 followers on this. We had 16, so I don't know who the person is I offended. Yeah, so we're just trying to spread the word, just trying to spread it. Usually I put out one full segment, I try and chop it up. So if you ever present here and you want your own copy like that, let me know. I'll chop it up and individual over. We were thinking about monetizing it, but the fact that we can't even get more than 15 users probably means we're not going to make money on this. Yeah, that's it. So literally, if anybody's interested in presenting, come talk to me. I've got one person, one group for the October version. I think we're October 21st, 22nd, something like that. So I'm usually looking for 2 more people. I think I might have 1 more. But we can never have too many. A lot of people think them up last minute. Generally, we look for people that are designers, developers, product managers, consultants, anything that you are working on that you're passionate about, you want to share that passion with someone in the audience. And usually we have a token Mad Glory person, so months our token for the night. It's kind of a rule. But yeah, come see me afterwards, tweet at me, get at me somehow. We love to have as many people as possible kind of present, just kind of show love. So without further ado, we've got Robert and Michelle coming up. They're going to present on collaborating in the cloudy cloud. So give it up for Robert and Michelle. And there's lots of seating up front.
Ricky, we're from Broadway Enterprises, and we've been around about 10 years. Michelle's been working with me for the last 3, and most of our projects are around helping people develop curriculum, manage short-term projects that are like a week or a month long in HR, and doing project management development and training. And our team is pretty spread out. We've got 9 project managers. Many of them are overseas in different time zones. So that plays a lot into kind of our madness and our asynchronous work. And Michelle will get to that in a little bit and how we use a service called Basecamp. We also use tools like Google Drive, and I'll also talk about a couple of tools I use to help people make appointments with me, given the differences in time zones, etc. And even here locally, we're both from the area, but we find we work very well in what we like to call a hybrid project management environment. We probably get together once a week for about an hour, and then we use Basecamp and text, Skype, email, whatever we can to maximize our time together, so that that 1 hour or 2 hours we get together to work in person really has that high value. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle to share a little bit about how we use some of these online tools.
All right, so just trying to stick with the theme, talking about project management in the virtual world, but going with the cloud theme. I found this great quote. It's tough to try to keep your feet on the ground, your head in the clouds, your nose to the grindstone, your shoulders to the wheel, your fingers on the pulse, your eye on the ball, and your ear to the ground. So that's basically what we're trying to do all the time, managing our teams. Like you said, to do this, we use primarily a project management online system called Basecamp. And this allows us to see everybody's collaboration, contribution to projects. We create to-do lists in there and assign due dates. We have a lot of structure and organization. People get their email updates. It's also a great spot to upload your documents, PowerPoint, spreadsheets. So it lets you create text documents. There's a calendar in there. So basically everything you want for your project management portal. My favorite feature is that there's a really great app that you can use on your smartphones. So you can do this from anywhere. So we were just talking before this about how a lot of work happens these days on any portable surface wherever you can find Wi-Fi or cell phone service. So I tend to do a lot of my checking in on my team from little league games and taekwondo, and I was just over at the ortho office checking on the broken arm and quickly checking on my projects at the same time. So anyway, we also have a scheduling program that we use because like we said, we're going to talk a little bit more about the hybrid model. I really feel like whatever tools you use are just tools. But to manage a team, you really need to know your team and know people well. So we try to check in on a regular basis, and I feel that like a 5-minute phone call is worth so much more than trying to text even more. So sometimes you just need to clarify what the goals and the vision are. So the Schedule Once program works really great. We've got the meetme.so, and it's really quick. We also have a handout here that's got all the links, so you can grab that. We have it all on the table, so any of the links we're mentioning, grab the handout. But the scheduling program, it syncs with your Google Calendar. You can put in there when your availability is. But it also, once you add an appointment anywhere in your Google Calendar, it all syncs together. So people can just go in from any time zone and check and see what the availability is, schedule an appointment with you, how long it needs to be. So we just try to have ease of use for that. And then managing teams, we also use a lot of Skype and Google Chat. It's a really great way to set up group meetings, and it also works really well for international calls. So if you have any global partners, and it tends to make the messaging free. So just some of the pros and cons of working in the cloud. The flexibility and freedom, I think, is what really draws people into this kind of work. We have people with really great background and experience, but they might need that flexibility. So we get a lot of people who might have a part-time job, or they have a other commitment, like they could be in school, they're students, young moms who are staying home but want to do some work. So we have a whole variety, and then we have some people who are just looking for adding some experience to their resume and working on the team, but they have other commitments as well. So we have people work all sorts of schedules, and we also have a lot of international people. So that gets into all sorts of interesting things with time zones. So we really like the flexibility. We like being able to attract these workers who really want to do this kind of stuff. They're really passionate, they have a lot of great experience. So we can attract them, and offer them that flexibility and freedom. The project management software allows you to have that asynchronous communications. People can add things, comment on things according to their schedule. But one of the cons comes up with the fact that most of these online platforms are very text-based. So it is document-based, it is commenting in text. So we end up with a lot of the international issues that come up with that, and even regionally. Even just different cultures within the U.S. People say things and they mean different things, it can be misinterpreted. At least once a day you have some sort of texting situation or emailing where somebody misinterprets your tone or misinterprets what you're going for. We have a lot of really young people come to the company, and often a lack of grammar skills is fun. So the text-based communication can be a barrier. So that's another thing where I really like this hybrid model where we make sure that we're always checking in with them. A lot of the people on the team really like the fact that they can always call and talk to the boss or talk to the team manager, the mentor, and just get a really quick, bout of inspiration. And we also use it a lot for that accountability and time management piece, with just the due dates, checking in on stuff, keeping accountable for everybody, and really mixing together that, use of relationships, but also the tech tools. So
some of the crazy things we do are set a big vision for our team. And so as much as we do paid projects, sometimes we like to throw something out there to the team just to test our creativity. So a few weeks ago I said, how about we buy a Major League Baseball team and move to Albany, New York? So it's a big, very audacious goal, as one of those folks says, but it gives it something beyond the normal workday to think about. We also have a page on our site called Vision 2060 that helps them understand that it's not just their grunt work that they're doing today, but there's more vision to it than that. The responsibilities piece, as Michelle alluded to, everybody that's a project manager or intern, freelancer, they're required to have a 15-minute phone call with her or I. And in 2 or 3 minutes, you can solve a riddle that asynchronous communication just can't. And even with the students that are in China or the project manager in Australia, we're able to overcome those things with a phone call. Building in a culture. We have new swear words. Don't use any of these in your workplace. Confused, frustrated. I don't have time, Robert. I'm busy. We banned all that language because it just was unproductive. And somebody called me during one of our calls, and I said, "You've sworn at me 51 times." I said, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "You said confused 12, frustrated 29, and busy 10. That's not swearing." I'm like, "It's unproductive language. And if you're working in the cloud, you got to keep people on track." And then that sense of community. Everybody has access to all the areas of Basecamp, whether it be marketing, human resources, project management, so it gives people the opportunity to see what everybody else is looking at. And acknowledgement along the way. We have a project manager of the month contest. We have them fill out a virtual timesheet. It's really organic. We just use Google Drive for that. As Michelle mentioned, Schedule Once is a great tool. But the bottom line is, when you see the tools we use on our list, and there's a couple we're playing around with too, CRM software. We've got a free subscription to Insightly, but now we're testing out HubSpot. And we're really not sure if customer relationship management is right for us at this time, but it's a great exercise, especially for the, I don't like to put interns on paid projects because you got to test the waters with them. So I'll give them something like the baseball stadium idea, or help me promote this band that I started in Tennessee recently. And I think just one other piece. We talked a lot about collaborating in the cloud, but sometimes you just got to get it done on paper. So I came up with a template that I got copies with over here, and basically, laying out the week and laying out what should be delegated, what I really need to be doing, what Michelle really needs to be doing, and kind of having that vision for a few weeks out, a few months out, and a couple of years out, so everybody in the team knows what our broader picture is very important. So as I mentioned, we've got copies of both of those templates over here, and this next page is how to get in touch with us. We are on LinkedIn, which is one of our favorite online cloud-based tools. We've got more projects and connections that way, and people to find us by using LinkedIn, and here's the shortcuts so you can see yourself how to collaborate in the cloud, and we're more than happy to schedule a call with you and walk you through some of these things in a little bit more depth. So we'll open up to any questions.
Great, thank you. So I think next up we have Muggs, if that's all right with Muggs. I can actually tell him he's up next.
Hey, someone's got yeah, can't make that up.
So like I mentioned, Muggs is one of our repeat offenders. He has presented 4 times, which actually kind of feeds into his presentation about product hunt. If you don't know, but Muggs is the #1 maker on product hunt. Hold it closer. Yeah, that makes a lot of big difference. That makes a lot of difference. So Muggs is going to present about how to get on product hunt, and he was actually incredibly helpful in submitting my company work orders. So he's going to talk a little bit about it, but some strategy that he really helped to walk me through to help us position to plan out our launch, after launch, was instrumental. So if anybody else has projects that they're looking to put out on product hunt, it's really good at following. I mean, I got talked to anybody after this now. We have a very positive leverage after launching on product hunt. When my expectations were very low, I took launch, and it's been very beneficial. So without further ado.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we're going to be talking about product hunt. But first, a little bit about me. So this is some news that I want to share with you. I'm currently part of Mac already, but that's not for the next 2 weeks. After that, I'll be out on my own. So that's kind of scary, but it's also kind of fun. And as Chris mentioned, you'll see my little face here, which means I have more products on product hunt than anybody else does. So I have 17 products that have been featured in the last 8 months. And some of them are mine, and I work with them exclusively, and some of them I work with other people. There's no way I can do 17 on my own, so that's that. So, for those of you that don't know, what is product hunt? I pulled this quote from their own website. And so product hunt is basically about just finding new, cool products. And it doesn't have to be cool, but something that handles a mundane task in a new way. I like the quote best. They say that product hunt is about finding products that you didn't even know that you need. So I think that's what a lot of products are about. They show new ways of working and new ways of doing things that you hadn't thought, and you just stuck in the same rut, doing things the same way. So finding new products like that, I think, really helps a lot. But how exactly does product hunt work? It's a social media site, and in that there's a whole bunch of people who are signed up. Some people who are called hunters have special permissions that allow them to submit products into product hunt. So hunters will search out new products and they'll submit them. All of the users on product hunt are able to upload the products that they like, so they can click through to the website that's been, or the web app that's been hunted and tried out, and if they like it, they can upload it. You can use the comments to kind of engage with people as well, so you can give feedback, you can think why it's good, why it's bad, all that kind of stuff. And then the products that get been most uploads are featured on the site, and they're shared through email and product hunt has almost 100,000 followers on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. So some products that do really well get shared a lot. But so if not everybody has permission to submit products, how do you get on product hunt? And even those that can submit, not everybody can submit things to the homepage of product hunt, which is where you want to be to get as much exposure as you can. And so the best way to do that is just to engage with people who do have customers right. So when you go to product hunt, you can actually see all the products that were submitted, and you can actually get a link to the profile of the person who actually submitted it. And so those profiles are actually just the hunter's Twitter accounts as well. So you can actually just go and tweet at hunters, you can engage with them, see what they're tweeting about, respond to them, find hunters that submit products that are similar to what you're working on, or things that you want to submit as well. So just find hunters that you think will be interested in your product, and then try and build a relationship with them. But don't just go up to them and just ask them for a happy product, because that's not very nice, and that's not. There's just an etiquette about asking for things. If you don't know something, you don't just walk up and ask them for something. Engage with them, show them your product, and if it's good, maybe so then it does get hit. It does get submitted, and you're like, oh shit, well, what is that? That's happened to me once or twice. I didn't know my product was getting submitted, and it did. So what happens when you are on product hunt? So I think the key here is that being on product hunt will give you a certain lift in terms of you'll get a whole bunch of visitors who are active on product hunt, but you want to get as many upvotes as you can. So share it within your own network on Twitter and Facebook and all those kind of things. Share it again. Don't just ask people to upload it. Share it, and then people will do what comes naturally, and they will upload it. But you can't actually ask. On product itself, you should post a comment and respond to any questions. People like to see makers who are responsive. They want, if they ask questions, they want to know why you did things a certain way. Just answer their questions. This is something that people often do. You should leverage your exposure. Being on product hunt is a rare thing, and if you have a product on there, you can use that to talk to other bloggers, people in the press, and the fact that your product is on there can be leveraged for those who write articles about you, all that kind of stuff. So I did that with one of my sites. It got hunted, it got up to number 2 or 3 on product hunt, stuff like that specific day. And I emailed the editor at Connect Web and said, hey, look, my product is here, and they came around and wrote an article about it. So that was awesome. But if you didn't email them, they wouldn't know. So make sure you leverage your exposure. And lastly, you should watch your analytics, and it will put a big smile on your face, because literally you will get, it actually depends on how many votes you get. You get thousands of visitors on your site in 24 hours. So just some success stories, some things that have been hunted in the past. One of the most famous ones was Ship Your Enemies Twitter, which was started out as a gag that somebody thought would be a cool thing to put on the web and see what people thought about it. And within 24 hours, it got submitted to Product Hunt. It was on Product Hunt, it got submitted to Reddit, and Activate, and all those other things. And within the first 24 hours of it being live, it had 1 million visitors, 270,000 shares. They didn't publish the actual sales that they had, but it was north of 50,000 exposure to sales. And so much so that the person who put out the website said, I don't know how to ship that much stuff. So he put the site up for sale instead. And it actually sold for 85,000 dollars. And that was very quick, and it all started when it got submitted to the product site itself. Another one was Fox. It's an app that people can record a 2-minute sort of elevator pitch of their product, and then they share it with they do it through this app, which has a whole bunch of investors looking at it. So the 2 founders of Fox posted this on the product site. Within 2 days, they raised $400,000 through an investor who found it through Product Hunt. They ended up showing the app because it uses Twitter to kind of authenticate everybody and all that kind of stuff. They pitched their product at this Hatch conference. And then 3 months after all that happened, they actually decided that wasn't something that they wanted to focus on. So they sold the app off to a venture firm. They haven't said for how much yet, but I'm going to guess a lot. This is another little fun one. Doesn't have to software products. These were actually emoji masks that a company called Me1 worked on. They had this idea of taking emojis and just making them into masks for prototypes in China and had them shipped over. When they launched, they launched it on Product Hunt. Within the first day, they had about 5,000 worth of sales. And then prior to Halloween that year, they had only 51,000 sales. That's just three, but there's actually a website that, funny enough, I have built. It's called Make a Success, and when we try and collect, we've got over 120 links now to people who write about when they launch one product, on how it went, how many businesses they got, how many sales they got, all that kind of stuff. And there's some really, really awesome stories in there. So if you want to check that out, it's awesome. I was going to mention my next hunt. So this isn't actually live yet, kinda. It's in kind of a soft alpha at this point. It's an alpha state. We're probably going to launch this next week. So this is kind of a product for people who make products, but they want to share their process of working. So when you make a product, what was the steps that you went through to make it? Why did you make the choices that you made? Who are the users that you're looking for? That kind of thing. And I think it solves a problem for me, and I hope it solves a problem for a whole bunch of other people too. So you maybe see that on one by one. And that's it. Thanks for listening. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Questions for Bob?
How does Product Hunt make money?
Well, they don't have it yet. They were a part of the 2013 YC class. White Combinator, which is kind of an accelerator out. Well, I guess they're both on the East Coast and on the West Coast now. They also did raise about $6 million from various investment firms, and Teresa Horowitz being, I think, the largest investor. So they have a couple of years where they don't need to make any money. But I think once they've got a large enough audience of people who want to make products, people who want to find new products, I think they'll find a way to make some money. Yep.
How do you become a hunter?
So yeah, there's everybody who works at Product Hunt is a hunter, and there's probably, I don't know the exact numbers, but there's probably about 200 or 300 other people who are hunters. They were typically very early Product Hunt users. And these days, the way that you just, I mean, it takes time. You basically have to become active on the side, comment on other people's projects and submit feedback and all that kind of stuff. And eventually you'll kind of gain enough attention where people see you, and the Product Hunt people who run Product Hunt will see that you're an active, valuable member, and they will keep you active.
Any questions? All right, will you hunt my product?
You can share it, and I might take a look.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Mons. That was awesome. And if you do have a product idea, please do actually find Mons afterwards. If you do share it with him and ask the right way.
It's Uber for Instagram.
And I've been trying to submit more products from the area. Yeah, I have been trying. I've talked to a few people, and I've been trying to make the area stand out a little bit more. The fact that we are doing awesome stuff up here. And so, if you do have a product and you're working locally, I'd much prefer to hunt that than something from San Francisco, stuff like that. So, absolutely, if you have a product, find me on Twitter or whatever, and I'd be happy to take a look.
Cool, thanks a lot. So what we used to do was take a 2-minute break to introduce each other, to, turn to your left, introduce yourself. So why don't we do that while we're setting up the next presenter, which is Becca. So honestly, turn to somebody you don't know, introduce yourself, talk for a few minutes, and we'll get set up. So without further ado,
So I'm Becca, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm going to talk about robots today. So I wanted to pick a topic that I find very interesting, and I know other people find interesting too, because it comes up in conversation so often. Actually, just yesterday, this was timely, that a friend of mine tweeted the question, is a garbage truck a robot? Yes? No? We don't call it a robot, right? We call it a truck. But it has that arm that comes out and picks up your garbage can and dumps it, puts it back. And that's very robot-like. So then I was thinking, if we started calling them robots, say you've got the garbage robot that comes down the street at the same time every week, we'd start to get a little freaked out, right? So that's what I want to talk about. How do we define what a robot is and is not? And how does that influence whether or not we trust whatever it is we're talking about? So before I get too deep into that, I want to tell you who I am. I'm a human, not a robot. I'm a design psychologist, so my expertise is in human technology interaction, which I feed into user experience research and design. And I'm also a scientist, so I work at RPI at the Center for Modeling, Simulation, Imaging, and Medicine, where I'm responsible for a lot of usability testing and instructional design. So with that out of the way, I want to share a few quotes with you that I find really thought-provoking and I think really underline this problem area. First, Elon Musk said, I think we should be very careful about artificial intelligence. If I had to guess at what our biggest existential threat is, it's probably that. I'm increasingly inclined to think that there should be some regulatory oversight, maybe at the national and international level, just to make sure that we don't do something very foolish. Think about that. Stephen Hawking also had something to say about artificial intelligence. He said, the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. That's nice. It would take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever-increasing rate. Humans, who are limited by slow biological evolution, couldn't compete and would be superseded. So that sounds pretty threatening, right? No wonder we don't really trust these things. And we should be talking about this, and the reason we should be talking about this is that robots are already here. So, how many of you have a Roomba or some kind of, you guys, that's it? I want one so bad. How many of you have some kind of personal assistant on your phone like Siri? Yeah. So, we might not think of Siri as a robot, right? So my question for you guys is, how do we define whether something is a robot? And this is a subjective question, right? There's no answer here. If you have any ideas what makes you call something a robot, what kind of functionality?
A certain amount of autonomy.
Autonomy.
Physical form.
Anything else?
That'd be autonomous.
What did you say back there?
Physical manipulation of the world.
Physical manipulation, so some kind of interaction with one another. Okay. So some things that might have logical intelligence of some kind. Social intelligence, which Siri has a little bit. She can have a little bit of a conversation with you. A Roomba can. Mobility. A Roomba does have mobility. Siri doesn't. Autonomy. That was a good one. And any number of other things you could come up with. So when a device or machine has all of these features, that's when you can say, yeah, that's a robot. But if it only has a subset of them, that's where it gets fuzzy, and we don't really know what to think of it. So basically, our idea of what a robot is comes from science fiction, largely. So science fiction has shaped our expectation for what a robot looks like and how it behaves. So movies, TV, books, video games, all of these presented robots in a fictional way, a lot of times even before actual robots even existed. So that's deeply embedded in what's called our mental model. That's what we call it in psychology. That's basically your mental representation of a concept. So that influences how you interact with something and how you expect it to behave. So it's no surprise that we're a little fearful. We think we're a little evil. So a lot of times that's how robots are portrayed, right? So the more intelligent they are and the more human-like they are, the more likely they're going to turn out. But that's why we should be talking about these things. So we're not at this level yet. Okay? We don't have full artificial intelligence yet, but I promise you it's on the way. So Isaac Asimov, who's very well known in the area of robots and ethics of robots, said the saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. So what's happening is technology is taking off at a rate that's faster than we can keep up with it. So faster than we can regulate, faster than we can really understand the implications of what we're doing. So, my plea to you as the tech community is that we need to responsibly design the future. So think about Jurassic Park, for example. They created the dinosaurs without thinking about whether or not they should, right? So we should be thinking about what we should and shouldn't be doing as we're creating these things, as we think about what we're capable of doing and what AI is capable of doing. One thing to keep in mind is that robots are better suited for some tasks than others. So it makes a lot of sense to use a robot to replace tasks that for humans are very boring, tedious, or dangerous. Those are great uses for robots or artificial intelligence. Whereas tasks that require social and emotional intelligence, you still need a human for that. The visual design of the robot should match its functionality. So what I mean by that is, if, for example, Siri in your phone had a face, if she was more than just a voice, if you looked at your phone and there was a face there and it looked to you that she was talking to you, we would interact with her a little differently. We would maybe have trust issues. We wouldn't really like her looking at our phone. And she doesn't need a face, right? So we would also end up expecting more out of her if she looked like a person. And then we would be disappointed because she wouldn't meet those expectations. And I couldn't let this presentation end without talking about Asimov's laws of robotics. So if you have read or seen I, Robot, that's where this comes from. So it's something that was born in fiction, in a fictional futuristic society. There were these laws of governing human robot interactions. But in the real world, we also point to that when we talk about robot ethics. The first law, a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to enter harm. Second law, a robot must obey orders given to it by a human unless that conflicts with the first law. And if you think about the military's use of drones, depending on how you define these things, you might already be breaking these laws. The third law, a robot must protect its own existence as long as that doesn't conflict with the first two laws. And Asimov later added the zeroth law, which states that overall, a human may not harm humanity. So, as we are designing technology for the future, we need to think about things like this and the long-term implications of what we're doing. A person who's very optimistic about artificial intelligence is Ray Kurzweil. So he's written a few books, and there is a documentary about him. He said, "I'm an inventor. I became interested in long-term trends because an invention has to make sense in the world in which it is finished, not the world in which it is started." So a lot of what we have going on right now, say with drones, driverless cars, robots in general, are going to have long-term implications for the world, and we need to be discussing this now, not when it's too late. That's the end of my presentation. You can find me on Twitter. I have a personal account, and then I have an account for my user experience business if you want to hear specifically about user experience stuff. But I'm happy to take any questions. Yes.
Out of all the traits that make a robot, doesn't autonomy mostly make it a robot? Because if you still need a human to decide what it does, it's just a tool. A drone is
Yeah.
a drone
Right.
because it can't think for itself.
Exactly. So that's definitely one of the major components of what makes a robot is the level of autonomy. That's actually not just like autonomous or not, but that's an entire scale, depending on how much the human is involved in decision making and manipulation.
I was going to ask, basically, what is your viewpoint as far as the end game of somebody like Ray Kurzweil and what it is that he's looking to design in regards to this world that
So Greg Kurzweil in particular is really looking forward to the singularity because he sees robots as a way of extending our own cognition. So you can kind of immortalize yourself. This is getting pretty weird.
This sounds like the oldest Huxley dream in the world.
It kind of is, right? So
Or it sounds like every billionaire.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
um,
I'm totally with you on that.
yeah, exactly. Cool.
So, yes, you mentioned about Ray. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, which Jacksonville State, which sounds like it's a block, sort of. It's actually Alabama.
Great. I'll try. So one of Ray Kurzweil's theories that by 2048 is the year. So that's the point where humans and technology become one. Right? Maybe. It depends on how you define that, right? But we're yeah, exactly. Yeah. I guess we'll have to see. So yeah, Ray Kurzweil is saying basically by the year 2048 we can immortalize ourselves artificially. People can afford it.
Any other questions?
Yes, what's the most impressive robotic artificial intelligence you've seen?
That's a good question. So the most impressive robot that exists?
Yeah, or AI robot, librarian.
I think those robots that can play soccer are very impressive. That's actually very challenging. That's a lot of coordination and shit. Now, I don't know how intelligent you would consider them to be, but just mobility-wise, that's insane. And there is like decision-making involved in that. Like there are robots that can just walk, but can they play soccer? No.
What do you think is the most dangerous style basis
The most dangerous artificial intelligence. I don't know if I have an answer to that. So I don't really.
That question, recently I saw an article that the AI said we kind of stick to the first law by keeping people in zoos in really good care. So I wonder what your feelings are on that.
Have you seen iRobot?
I have.
So yeah. So those rules are open to interpretation. That's why those are basically a starting point, right? So the zeroth law that a robot must protect humanity. Maybe they decided they want to protect humanity by putting in destroying us.
I guess it's better than what Cylon.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So those are definitely a starting point. There's a lot of people criticizing them, like they're totally fictional. That's fair, but these are things we should be talking about and figuring out before we have Skynet. Yes.
What times would you say would be, like one example times would you say would be too dangerous for robots to perform right now?
So I meant to say something that's too dangerous for a human to perform. So like, we should have robots performing rescue missions or going into burning buildings.
Like looking at it from the outset, and like are there any tasks that based on your design principles that you say that robot should just not do at all?
Therapy. So the things that require high emotional intelligence, like robots, like artificial intelligence is nowhere near that. There's some amount of social intelligence, like conversational, that kind of thing, but not nuanced at all.
Okay. All right. And then one more question on that. Do you feel that like you fall in the good design principles because slowly replace all like lower basic mechanical jobs where it's like, all right, press button A or B and remove object from place 1 to 2, replace those robots that have some that's the place of the mouse, like fully automated. a discussion amongst ourselves, not to be disrespectful.
That's okay.
All right. Now, in human history, we've had societies where they actually felt it was beneficial to sacrifice children to the gods, right? So, I mean, there's a contradiction there in the sense that if you have a limited amount of human beings because you have this upheaval of robotic, robots and technology taking over now, and what about those individuals who used to have find it beneficial sacrificing children to the gods? I mean, they no longer have this bloodshed, to feed off or whatever, right? So, I mean, it's kind of an imbalanced, nihilistic way of thinking that just doesn't seem to make sense. And if it's in the minds of all these multi-billionaires across the world that have this, I'm just saying that this is completely insane. They have too much time on their hands. And maybe they should just, if they don't have a woman, they should masturbate more often. I don't know. It just seems very awkward and weird. It's like, what are they doing? What's going on, Mr. Curtis? Well,
And we're going to mark this time with a text right off the rails. And a discussion that we can follow up afterwards. So, any other questions? I've got one. So, can you tell us a little about anything super secret that RPI is working on? Maybe not so secret, but anything RPI is working on in the realm of robots, like Carnegie Mellon or any other university?
No, just kidding. So I'm not involved in this, but there is a lab at RPI that has developed these little bots that, I don't know if you see, there's a video going on. These little bots that have what they define as self-consciousness. So it was able to answer questions in a way. The question was, what was it? There were 3 of them, and the question was, do you know? Yeah, okay. So it was 3 little robots, and only one of them had the capability of talking, and the other 2 would shut off or whatever. And the human poses the question, which of you has the capability of talking? They all tried to say, I don't know. But the one that was able to speak said, I don't know. Wait, I do know. I can speak. So they showed, that's the first step of like, oh, it's aware of this stuff.
Round of applause for Becca. That was great. So we don't really have an exit at the end of this, but I thank the audience, and I say if you are interested in presenting in the future, come at me somehow, tweet at me, come up afterwards. Anyone wants to help me Carol, over to our co-working space, I'm not going to say no. But otherwise, we will be back October, 3rd Wednesday of each month.